So I've not made a video in a while. I guess I didn't know what to say. I was talking about Maisie in recent posts on Facebook, and Maisie Peters. I can actually remember her surname because wasn't Peter supposed to be the one who betrayed Jesus? I don't know. I can't remember, but I feel like that is the truth. And yeah, I think she represents singers. I mean, I've always said that the Big Brother show, yes, but um, I also felt that the Big Brother show put that show on Lost for to kind of hurt me, to kind of I don't know, but I don't know why they did it, but I feel like a part of them was saying, I don't believe you're Christ, I don't believe you're controlling the timeline. And I know you don't want us to put this show on, but we're going to put it on because we can, to prove that we can, and we're controlling our own timeline, and you're not controlling the timeline. That's why it felt like they did it for that reason. Um, and I was always wondering why I didn't ever see that much evidence that I was going to be on the Big Brother show. I kept trying to find evidence, doing what Christians do, keep trying to find proof that doesn't really exist about why Jesus is real. And I feel like I was doing the same thing with Big Brother just because I've had so many visions of being on that show. But I think these visions are actually from different timelines that I've done. So um, I don't know, but I'm very, very, very pissed off with this world and the people here and everyone for having this attitude. And I don't know if it's their attitude, but I feel like it's their attitude. The attitude of humans on Earth is so, so rejecting of me, that I feel like they would do anything to prove me wrong, prove that I'm not controlling the timeline. And it's true, I'm not controlling the timeline. Humans are controlling the timeline, and I'm just inspiring stuff, and trying to work with them. But yeah, the fact that Big Brother didn't want to work with me, I think, is just an example of how humans don't want to work with me. Just like um, people who wrote the Bible didn't want to work with me. I can say that I inspired the books, but the truth is, humans wanted to create their own God, their own view on what God was. They didn't want the truth, and these books were inspired because they were going to create something that wasn't the truth, but something that they wanted. So I had to work with what they wanted, but shape things in a way that would benefit me one day. So that's the truth about the Bible. And anyone who thinks that the Bible is God's word, they're idiots because they don't know what God's word is, and you can't just assume that because this book has been accepted as being God's word, that doesn't mean that it is God's word. I mean, if it was God's word, why would the Quran be against the Bible and get people to be against Christianity? If if God is controlling all things, and if you believe that God is something because lots and lots of people believe in it, then why is it that lots and lots of people believe in Islam and lots and lots of people believe in Christianity, and yet these two are against each other? The answer to that is because God is not in favor of either. And yeah, Angel of the Drunks makes sense for the other girl. I think I have tried to look at her songs 6 months ago, and I didn't sense the name because I noticed she just looked like a drunken girl in a lot of the, like remember going onto her page and seeing one or two pictures that just made me think, yeah, this girl isn't an angel. She just looks like I don't know, she's spinning round just looking like a drunken person, and so I didn't think she was an angel back then. But now I do think she's an angel. She's Angel of the Drunks. And that kind of makes sense. But I think they need drunks need guidance, even if it's in the wrong direction. But anyway, I didn't want to talk about it today. I haven't seen my mail orange for about 4 days, so I just double check to make sure that it's still in there and still alive. I never see it at feeding time, or I never see it ever. I had to lift all the items twice before I actually found it, because I was like, what? It's not in here. It's got to be somewhere. Has it jumped out the cage? Has it jumped out the tank? No. And then I trekked again, and I did actually see it that time. So the first time I was moving them, it must have just it must have zoomed quite fast out of my sight. But yeah, it's still in there. But during my search, one of the baby orange ones have died. There's no bite mark or anything, so I don't know how that one died. And I found three neon ones that had died, which was a bit upsetting because I'm looking at the two that there's four now. There was seven, so now there's four. But two of them look really big. Now, either it's some of the older ones that have just grown to full size, um, or maybe some of the younger ones were the ones that died. And that's a bit strange because I've only had them a month. I would have expected the older ones that I've had for over a year to die, but it actually looks like the younger ones have died. So I don't know what to do. I'm tempted to. You can buy them £10 for five, or one for 2.50 each. So I think I'd rather buy five than two. Rather buy five for 10 than two for £5. But yeah, I don't know if it's really worth it. If I'm constantly waiting for people to help send me and tell the world that Christ is here. I keep waiting for this, and I feel like I can't live my life. And even something basic like this. I mean, technically the tank is pretty full, but all the other neons, the four neons left, they look a bit depressed because they like being in groups of minimal of five. And yeah, I was a little happy yesterday because I saw all seven. There was seven, but I only ever could count six, and I wasn't sure if they were moving around, hence why I couldn't count seven, or if one of them was hiding. And then yesterday I was like, oh, there are seven, they're all alive. And then today, when I was doing a search for the male to see if he was still alive, yeah, found three that were actually three of the neons had died last night. So I don't know if the temperature was too cold or something. I did turn it up. Sometimes you have to have it on like 27 for it to have an average of 25. So I've turned it up to 27, hoping that because the temperature was about 23 or something. So maybe it was a bit cold for them or something. I don't know. But yeah. But anyway, I'm really hoping that something's going to happen soon, that people are going to come in to me, perhaps end of March. I think if nothing happens by my birthday this year, then I'm just going to assume that it's obviously not now. I think with everything that I know now, I think it's more likely to be. I think they're more likely to come to me at the same time they came to Jesus, because Jesus is supposed to be a representation, I guess. Some of the things about him linked to me, and they came to arrest him around just before Passover. So I'm assuming that will happen to me this time. I think I didn't believe that in the past because it was less because there's supposed to be two. There's supposed to be the coming of the Messiah and then the return of the Messiah. And I guess I'd already done the coming part of the coming to the world. People, or me realizing that I'm Christ, and that happened in the springtime. So it made sense for people to come to me in the fall time. But yeah, considering the whole world does not know about me, and people are not talking about me, and I don't feel like I've come to the world. I feel like if I came, I wouldn't be returning to the world. I'd just be coming to the world for the first time. So I feel like because of that, it's more likely. I'm more likely to be exposed to the world at the same time Jesus was in the springtime, and then there's going to be a 3.5 year wait where something happens, and then hopefully by that point no one would believe in Jesus. But I don't really know how it will play out or anything because it's not me that's doing it, and yeah, I'm not the one who's controlling it. The people who are going to work with me are going to be the ones that are controlling it, and they're not working with me. They're ignoring me. So I'm just stuck.